What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for the NFL Week 11 picks. Now, first we're going to go over the results of last week's games. There were 14 games, and I went 8-6. My overall record now is 90-59. We're still at a 60% winning percentage, and I felt like there's a lot going on in the NFL now. Last week, it felt like chaos was all across the league as some teams won that I didn't expect, and some teams lost that I definitely counted on to win. But all in all, it was still a good week. Not as good as my 9-win weeks or my double-digit win weeks, but we're gonna start off, with what went wrong in last week's games. So to kick things off with what went wrong, we're gonna go ahead and get the Texans out the way. Now, last week, I said that no matter what, I was going to go against the Texans moving forward in my picks. But found out making a definitive statement like that was a mistake. The Texans go on to beat the Jaguars, therefore denying me another win from my picks. And like I said, probably before for many weeks now, I just can't predict this team. And we'll see what I do in this week's picks later on, but they're just an enigma. So the second thing to go wrong was my beloved Panthers losing to the Saints. Now, the week before against the Packers, I was not confident enough in my team, and I picked them to lose. Then they win. Last week, I get a little cocky, a little overconfident, and they lose to the bum-ass Saints. Now we have the Falcons coming up, and I'm really in a quandary of what to do. I waited all the way to the last minute to really make my pick, and you guys are going to see who I picked to win that game when I tell the picks later on. So the third point of what went wrong last week is the Dolphins upsetting the Bills. Listen, it happened to the Lions against the Vikings the week before, so I'm going to just chalk it up to the division monster. These divisional games, you never know, especially a team at the bottom of the division, always got a chance to upset a team at the top. But with that said, let's move on to what went right. So the first thing to go right was the Thursday night game. The Broncos took care of the Raiders, even though the Raiders put up a fight, or probably I should say that the Broncos offense made things more difficult than they had to be. But a win is a win, and I got a Thursday night game right. Second thing that went right, the Patriots beating the Bucks. So I was counting on that because I was also counting on the Panthers to win their game. So if the Panthers would have won their game, we'd have been 6-4. And if the Buccaneers lost, which they did, dropping them to 6-3, we'd have been right behind the Buccaneers, right on their tails with the same number of wins. And the Bucs already having their bye week. Our bye week is still coming down the line. And we'd have been right in a position for challenging for the division crown. But take a step back, losing to the Saints. I don't know what's going to happen against the Falcons. The Bucks have another tough game. I think they play the Bills next. Yes, they play the Bills. And we'll see what I pick when I tell the picks later. And finally, the third thing, I typically have a third point, but I don't have one this week. Nothing else of significance. So we're going to just jump right into the picks then. Now, before I make my picks, you know we always have to do our due diligence and say what teams are on their bye this week. We only have 2 teams on bye. Those teams are the Bengals and the Colts. And, Jonathan Taylor, the who I have as the number 1 candidate for MVP, he definitely needs a rest this week. He ran for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns in his last game. So Oh, which was against the Falcons, which bodes well. Hopefully the Falcons will let us run roughshod over them like that too. But yeah, for all that work he put in, he needed a rest. Anyways, that leaves us with 15 games to pick from. So let's get to the picks. So to kick off the picks, we have the Thursday night game, which was the Patriots and the Jets. I picked the Patriots over the Jets, as y'all saw. So already starting off 1-0 for the week. So getting into Sunday games, we have an early game in Madrid, the Dolphins, and I'm taking the Dolphins over the Commanders. For the rest of Sunday's games, start off with my Panthers. I'm picking the Panthers over the Falcons, the Bills over the Bucks, the Texans over the Titans. Please, Texans, don't lose to the Titans. Come on. The Vikings over the Bears, the Packers over the Giants, the Bengals to upset the Steelers, the Jaguars over the Chargers, the Seahawks over the Rams in a battle of MVP quarterbacks. I should say MVP candidate quarterbacks. And right now, if it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor, I feel they'd probably be giving the MVP to Matt Stafford. Anyways, the 49ers over the Cardinals, the Ravens over the Browns, the Broncos over the Chiefs, even though somehow the Broncos are the underdogs according to the money lines. I don't know. I mean, they're at home. They have the better record, and we've seen how shaky the Chiefs have been this season, but I mean, that's that pedigree. Sunday night game, we have the Lions and Eagles. I'm picking the Lions to beat the Eagles. I know all my Philly fans going to be upset about that, but we'll see. We'll see. And the Monday night game, finally, we had the Cowboys and the Raiders. I'm taking the Cowboys over the Raiders. So, those are my picks. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Catch up with y'all next time. Peace.